Just do a little test run to see how it looks. I know it's a mess back there. Okay, let's try this one. Let's see how this looks. Okay. Okay. I'm probably gonna need my little handkerchief. Completely honest. Okay. I'm gonna try to make this as short as possible, although it is going to be kind of hard to fit a lot of things into one video and make it under like 30 minutes. So let me just make sure this is still recording. Yes, it is. Okay. Okay. I am creating this video as an opportunity to speak up for myself and also help other people who may have some of the same experiences that I've had. And hold on, because I'm sorry, I can hear the TV doing that. It's gone now. I can hear that little ringing thing sound, and that was distracting me. So now, okay. What I was saying is, I want to be able to maybe inspire or influence other people who may be struggling with this as well to heal, and also bring awareness to the fact that a lot of the things that I'm about to talk about are often not talked about publicly, and that is a problem. And this is going to make a lot of people uncomfortable, but this is what needs to happen. So we're going to get straight to it. A lot of people may view me as being very confident and very strong and creative and inspiring, and those are all very great qualities, and I would agree. But those things happened to me, or are a part of me, as a result of me working very hard for them. And over the course of my life, I've had to learn a lot of lessons. And I had to learn a lot of those lessons on my own. And in the process of me learning some of those lessons, I learned how to transmute energy so that things work out ultimately in my favor, so that I could heal. So I feel like I'm getting a little sidetracked. So what I want to do is, I don't have like a format for how I want this to go, but I'm going to just get it out the best way that I can. I don't remember a lot from my childhood. I don't have a lot of memories of my childhood. But the memories that I do have of when I was very young, they're not good. They're not positive. And they involve me being abused sexually by people in my family. Some of the very first memories that I have of my childhood involve that. Only that. So, for a very long time, I found it very difficult to communicate with people, to make connections with people, to trust people, because I was witnessing and I was experiencing deceit and manipulation and environments that felt like this is not a safe place to be. Because when I am trying to tell the truth, why does it feel like I am having to try to defend myself or prove as a child that this is happening to me? So I became very resentful and very hardened in certain ways, and very much frozen in a space that kept me stuck for a very long time on a certain loop. I remember this one particular time when it was time for me to go home from this place where I was being abused. And I remember coming up from that basement because it was time to go. And I just knew that when my dad got there and he saw me, he would just know that something was wrong, that something was different, that something was going on, or something was up. And this would be fixed, this would be handled, and I wouldn't have to say anything because he would just know. So I came upstairs to the middle floor, because there were 3 floors on that house, 3 levels, 3 layers on that house. And I remember standing in that kitchen with my mom and my dad getting ready to go. And my aunt was in the kitchen and she hadn't been there. I think she was working. She was like always working. And my older cousin that was there was never there either, because she had small children herself and was in and out all the time. So this particular time, I remember being in the kitchen with my aunt and my mom and my dad, because it was time to go. Finally, it was time to go. So I'm ready. I'm ready to go. And nobody said anything. Nobody noticed anything. And I felt bad, because I felt like if I spoke up, if I said something right then in that moment, I would get people in trouble. I would cause arguments or drama or a shift in the energy. And so it was made clear to me, like, don't say nothing. I was told not to to say anything. I think as I was growing up, I felt so hurt that like nobody noticed, or like nobody like showed up to say like, hey, what's happening, or what's going on, or is everything okay down here? So it was like this big secret, this big thing of being like this cover, this, I don't know how to explain it. I don't, like it was happening and then it was just like gone, to like never be talked about or addressed or mentioned. So in that moment, like as a child, I now understand and know, like in that moment, although I couldn't put a name to what was going on, I didn't understand to the full extent of like, hey, my body was having a hard time processing in that moment, like what's happening to me. I knew it was wrong. I knew that that person should not have been doing that to me, because the way they went about it was very manipulative. And I'm gonna tell you what they did, because children need to know that this is not right. You don't let people do this to you. And it is very uncomfortable to talk about. But God has placed it on my heart to be strong and courageous and be brave and talk about these things. Because most people will sweep this stuff under the rug because it's too uncomfortable. It's so damaging to the family and to communications and connections or whatever. I don't know why people shy away from this and let it keep going on and on, when it is very destructive to people's lives, to the quality of their lives, to their mental health. It creates so many prisons for people. And like I did for so many years, I carried a lot of guilt and shame for what happened, thinking that I was nasty or bad or deflected in some way. And that was not the case at all. I was sitting downstairs with an older cousin of mine who was a male. He was playing video games in the basement of that house. And somehow or another, and there was another friend that he had there at the time too as well. That friend, I don't remember too much of them having any interaction with me personally. I don't remember. But at some point in time, it was just me and my older male cousin left downstairs in the basement on the couch in front of the TV where they were playing video games. And I had to talk about every level of this house, because there are significant parts of every level of this house, this 3-story house. So I'm just going to tell it the way that I have observed it for myself at this point in time. Somehow, He's no longer playing video games, and I am wrapped up in covers, okay? And he's tickling me under the covers, okay? And it is a game of him wrapping me up in the covers and putting his hands in the covers and tickling me. And at first this is fun, until he starts putting his hands in other places on my body where his hands should not have been, and touching me there. And so at some point in time, the game changes to something else. Now we're playing hide and seek. And this, in a way, seems like a good thing, because I'm confused about what's happening, and I'm feeling like I want distance. So hiding is good. Like, hiding is an opportunity to, like, get away. I was gonna stop recording. Okay. I remember running from different rooms downstairs in the basement to, like, find places to hide. And it's dark down there. There's a bathroom, the long stairwell, the main den that was downstairs in the basement that had access to, like, an outdoor terrace area that was, like, completely cemented in. You couldn't leave out of there. You couldn't climb it up. It's too big. And then there's a bedroom down there as well. So didn't hide in the bathroom because the bathroom was too small. And I go into the other room that's downstairs. That's the bedroom. And I remember being, like, on the floor on the side of the bed, on the other side, like, away from the door, like the most obvious spot. But it was dark, so, like, and then I remember him being on top of me. And I remember feeling like things just are black. It's just black. The other memories that I have after these experiences are literally of me going all the way to the top of the stairs, like to the top floor, to, like, remove myself. I feel like I was trying to hide. That's how I felt. That's how I feel. Because I remember being in my aunt's room, and she had this beautiful vanity that had all types of makeup on it. And perfume, and nail polish, and jewelry. And it was dark in there too. But it was quiet. And I felt like, oh, I know I'm not supposed to be in here. But I was scared. And I was hiding like a mouse. From, like, room to room, I felt like to stay away from this person. so that there weren't other opportunities for them to touch me. That is like one of the first experiences that I can remember from my childhood, of like heartbreak, like pure heartbreak, because nobody knew. No one was coming to save me. No one. And to me, this is, no one was coming to save me. And I say that because as a child, as a little girl, I looked at my father like he was God. He was God. Like, what he says is what's going to be, is what is. So when he finds out, and he didn't find out. And that's not to like bash him or to put any on anybody in my family. My battery died, sorry. Okay. Oh goodness. Okay. Okay, so yeah, this is not to bash anyone or to drag anybody in any way. I'm past that. And I've held so much peace for myself for so long because I really had to. I could have been a victim, and I was a victim for a long time, until I decided, like, I don't have to be there anymore. I don't have to be in that space torturing myself anymore, because I've grown from it, and I have healed that part of myself, and I can now observe it. Like, I have tears rolling down my face, because for one, this is my very first time talking about this stuff publicly in such a way. It's very, very, very intimate things that I'm sharing, but I'm doing it in the hopes of letting it be an opportunity for other people, other children who may see this and know that you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. We are survivors, and you can, with work and with time and with grace from God, you'll be able to get to a place where you can zoom out. Because that's what I had to do. I had to zoom out, but I didn't learn how to do those things just on my own. It took lots of trials and tribulations. It took me going into mental institutions multiple times for depression and anxiety, and having episodes where I wanted to end my life. And I tried multiple times from my childhood up into my young adulthood. So, as well as addiction too. Okay, I am now 6 years sober from alcohol. So, I want to be so transparent and authentic with people, because there is no more time for the fake flu-fla stuff. There's no more time. People need to heal. People need to have justice. People need to feel empowered, speaking their truth. And I'm going to stand up and I'm going to be a leader. And I don't care what nobody has to say about it. I don't care what anybody has to say about it. Because I'm telling the truth. And I have nothing to be ashamed of. I have nothing to be ashamed of. That is the truth. It's going to be okay. Because I said so. And I want you to understand that as well too. Don't wait on nobody else to validate you. Because they won't do it. You empower yourself. You trust yourself. You trust God. That's what I'm saying. Because a lot is going on behind the scenes and ain't nobody talking about it. And I'm tired. I'm sick and tired. I want peace and quiet. I want a safe space to grow and be myself. To choose and to decide for myself. Because my first choice was taken away from me. It was taken away from me a long time ago. And then it said to me, well, what do you want done about it now? You know? That's when you take matters into your own hands. I didn't go after anyone for revenge. I'm not using this as a smear campaign. This is me providing justice for myself. And in doing so, like I said before earlier in the video, I am now transmuting this energy into something even far greater and far beyond what you probably expected from me to begin with. That's what I'm saying. I'm in control now. I'm driving the ship now. So all the things that were done to me and placed on me without my consent are being removed. And I'm doing it with grace. Because with God, all things are possible. They don't want you to know that part either. We're working in all possibilities now. So, yes, these things happened to me. And yes, it was a long time ago. But I've never once before, you've never seen me, not once before, come on a platform publicly and talk about it so transparently, so authentically. I'm speaking from the heart. Because I know for a fact this is going to go. This right here is going to go. Because a lot of people are hurting. The stuff about feelings, people having gut feelings and using their intuition, having the ability to absorb, recognize patterns, frequencies, energies. That is a real thing. It is very real. And it's happening very quickly for some of us right now. Let me make sure this is still recorded. Okay. Because I can't see myself, okay? So I keep having to do that because I don't want stuff to get cut off. Because I might not remember. A lot of people who are really tapped in, who understand, who can see beyond that veil and can see that something else is going on here. Something else is there. Yeah, I'm talking to you. If you have been paying attention, and everybody's at different levels with this stuff. So that's why I'm not going to get too deep with it, because everybody has to come into this understanding in their own time. Everybody's journey is going to be different. Things are happening very quickly now. Like, in real time, guys. In real freaking time. Like, what a time to be alive right now. Things are happening so fast. So this is part of me getting this video out is to, I know this is the next part. I know this is the next part for me. And this is what courage looks like. It takes a whole lot of that to get in front of a black screen and speak your truth and just say it how it is and not be afraid. And even if you are a little afraid, that's okay. You still gonna get up there and do it anyway. A lot of people, you're gonna come to see, a lot of people don't have that. They don't even have the courage to get up and speak up for what is right. They don't have the courage to go against the grain and do something that nobody else is doing. And you can't force them. Again, people have to come to that stuff on their own terms, in their own time. I cannot drag anybody else across the line with me. All you're going to do is try to pull me back onto the other side in some way or the other. So that's why you take your hands off. Okay? Because I'm being obedient and I'm following directions. I have surrendered. You know, this is God's will at this point, and it has always been God's will. But you see my face now, and so you know that what I'm saying is true. I suffered a long time, and I suffered in silence for a very long time. And I don't want other people to be in those loops of suffering in silence when you don't have to. So it has taken a long time for me to get to a place where I felt confident enough to speak about these things. Those experiences with that particular person planted a lot of seeds. Me not understanding at that time as a child that I could scream for help, that I could look at my parents and say, something happened to me and I need help. Please help me. Because I didn't like this. It planted a lot of bad seeds. It planted a lot of toxic seeds because the way my brain is wired, the way I am programmed is different than other people. It's making me nervous. I don't know why it keeps cutting off. I'm gonna try to finish this because I just want to get this out and done. I grew up carrying a lot of guilt and shame for what happened to me, for what I did to others. And the way that it played out in my life for the last almost 35 years was not good. And I had to learn some of the same lessons over and over again. I am healing myself, and this is a part of my journey. So however this looks, I don't care, because I'm doing it. And there are going to be other topics and other videos, other conversations that I am going to put out there at different times, because I want to talk about my experiences. I want to help other people come out of that darkness. And for maybe some people, like, this didn't happen to you, and that is good. Like, I'm always surprised when I hear people say that they don't have any experiences like that, because I'm like, I know a lot of people did. I know a lot of people that have had experiences and probably feel like there's nobody to talk to about it. So, like, I'm coming to you from the other side and being a voice. I'm okay with using my voice, and that's part of why the book that I wrote is so emotionally impactful for me, because I was putting on paper in real time how I came to understand my voice and where I hide and how I can lean on others for support when I need it. And that although things happen to us, bad things happen to us, it's gonna be okay. Like, you can survive. You can be on the other side of things and live to tell your story. But you gotta stay alive. And I can talk about how I did those things, like what I did to stay alive all this time. Your voice is important. Your voice is unique. Your voice is powerful. It's very, very powerful. And your voice is yours. Don't you let nobody tell you otherwise. In your own way, use your voice. I wasn't always in front of a camera using my voice. I was doing other things to express myself creatively, to get things out. So you gotta meet yourself where you are right now and try to express yourself creatively from where you are right now and work yourself up. Don't try to do it all right now, because you put too much pressure on yourself. Just do a little bit in the space that you're in right now to affirm yourself, because that's what this is about. And if you don't have enough courage in yourself to even get started on something small, whether it's just journaling or finding some music that helps you express yourself, then you need to start thinking about, why is that? What's holding me back from getting a better understanding of who I am? And what's holding me back? You got to start asking yourself those questions so that you can build on that. You can remove blockages, and you can fill yourself with the things that are going to propel you forward from where you are right now. Because if you keep doing the same things that you've been doing over and over and over again, that is insanity. You will be in those loops forever, and nothing will come of it. If you want to prosper, if you want more out of life, be willing to ask yourself those questions and be honest with yourself. If you're not going to be honest with yourself, there is no point in doing this. thank you for listening and being a part of this part of the journey, because it's not all pretty all the time. Sometimes it's ugly and difficult, challenging. Sometimes it is scary. Sometimes it is lonely. But really and truly, you are never alone, friends. You are never alone. I just want y'all to know that. And I'm proud of myself, because I did it. This part is done. I don't have to be afraid. I don't have to be afraid. So yeah, we're doing new things. This is a new beginning, a new opportunity to see something that was very traumatic and hurtful from a brand new perspective. And look at this new perspective now. This new perspective is beyond anything that I could have ever imagined. I know that for a fact. Out of all of the toxic relationships that I've been in, all of the drama and violence and abuse that I have had come to me over my lifetime. Oh, it's a lot. It's a lot more than just what I've just shared with you. But I am a survivor. I have survived. And I am strong enough still to help other people who want to fight too. I love you guys.